What if your life is a game? Most people are playing it by someone else's rules, unaware they even have the power to rewrite the code. This is not just a thought experiment. It is an invitation to see your entire reality through a different lens, one that reveals the hidden structures and programming that dictate your thoughts, emotions, and actions. We often believe we are making choices, but in fact, those choices have been pre-programmed for us, much like a character in a video game is limited by the game's parameters. This understanding, that you are both the player and the developer of your own experience, is the key to unlocking a completely different level of awareness and freedom. Think about your career path, for example. You might believe it was a completely personal choice, driven by your own desires and interests. But look deeper. Was your career path not influenced by the educational system, by your parents' expectations, or by the media's portrayal of what success looks like? The educational system itself is structured to lead you down a predetermined path, subtly shaping your aspirations and limiting your possibilities, often steering you away from your true calling and into roles that serve the system. This is a core element of the simulation, to create the illusion of choice while limiting our options. This is not to say that you can't find purpose in that path, but that your choice was not as authentic as you might have thought. This programming, while not malicious in itself, limits our potential drastically. Consider the way self-doubt can hold you back, making you miss out on opportunities and diminishing your courage. The simulation's programming often manifests as limiting beliefs, creating a reality that confines us to a fraction of our true capacity. The implications of this understanding are profound. This isn't just about escaping some abstract concept, it's about reclaiming the power to shape your own life experience. This knowledge is the key to unlocking personal freedom, control, and a more authentic experience of reality. The act of exiting this simulation is not about escaping the world, but waking up from the unconscious programming that keeps us playing someone else's game, instead of writing our own story. It is a path towards self-discovery, where you become the author of your own narrative, free from the pre-written roles dictated by the game. It's about recognizing that the power to change the game is not outside of you, but it's within you. Now, let's delve into how this simulation actually works. Most people believe their perception is a passive reception of external reality, but that's a fallacy. Your mind is actively constructing your reality. What you see, hear, and experience is filtered through your beliefs, your past experiences, your biases, and your personal code. This is why two people can witness the same event and experience it entirely differently. Your brain is constantly filling in the blanks, constructing a reality that is not a one-tune reflection of what is objectively there, but a subjective experience shaped by your internal programming. The simulation is not just out there, it's happening within. This takes us to the core idea. Your beliefs actively shape your reality. Your beliefs act as the code of the simulation, dictating what you experience. If you believe something is impossible, your reality will reflect that impossibility, limiting your potential and reinforcing your beliefs. This is how the program operates. Notice how your thoughts generate your feelings, and those feelings shape your reality. For example, thoughts of self-doubt create the feeling of self-doubt, which in turn makes you more likely to experience situations that confirm that belief, thus creating a self-perpetuating loop. It is here that many might turn to positive thinking as an exit, but that is also a trap. The goal is not to force positive thoughts, but to have the self-awareness to notice what is driving your code. Consider the belief that you are not good enough. This belief will make you subtly sabotage opportunities, create a reality that confirms that belief, and further solidifies the program you're running. But what if much of what you perceive as solid and fixed is actually flexible and fluid? What if that wall you see and feel is actually mostly empty space between atoms? What if everything you believe is a stable, external reality, is in fact a series of perceptions created by the codes you are running within? There's a deeper layer of reality beneath the surface of our conscious awareness, one that holds the key to understanding this simulation. What if the entire simulation is not a collection of separate individuals, but a single unified field, what some might call one mind, where everything is interconnected through a shared consciousness? In the coming parts of this video, you will learn practical ways to identify the simulation in your own life and make the conscious choice to exit it, stepping into your power as the co-creator of your own reality. So, let's go deeper into the mechanics of this simulation. It's not some abstract concept or distant possibility, but a very real, very tangible system that's actively shaping your reality right now. Think of it as a complex program where societal structures act as the code, influencing how you think, feel, and behave. Take, for example, the education system. While it presents itself as a means for personal growth and intellectual development, it often functions as a mechanism for producing compliant citizens who fit within the established social norms, rather than fostering critical thinkers. The emphasis is often on memorization, standardized testing, and following established curriculums, instead of encouraging independent thought and creativity, effectively creating a workforce that reinforces the status quo and the current structure of the simulation. This isn't to say that education is inherently bad, but understanding its subtle influence is crucial in recognizing the invisible code that runs your life. These systems, however well-intentioned, often limit your perception of what's possible and shape your understanding of what is normal, thereby reinforcing the simulation's carefully constructed parameters and subtly limiting your options. Cultural narratives, traditions, and media also act as potent forms of pre-programmed content within this simulation. From fairy tales to blockbuster movies, stories shape our values, our desires, and even our moral compass, often without us being aware of it. The heroes and villains we see on screen, the traditions we participate in, they all subtly influence what we believe is right or wrong, desirable or undesirable. Consider how media often glorifies consumerism, presenting it as the path to happiness and success, or how traditions often prioritize conformity over individuality, reinforcing patterns that keep us within the simulation's defined boundaries. These are the pre-programmed levels of the game, shaping our perception of what is acceptable and desirable, and therefore our choices. And that's not even taking into account the algorithms that shape our news feeds, subtly creating bubbles that reinforce our already existing beliefs and desires, further cementing our position inside of the simulation's limitations. But the simulation is not just external. It acts as a filter, a lens that distorts how we perceive reality, keeping us from seeing the full picture and reinforcing the feeling that we are trapped in a limited experience. Your brain doesn't show you reality as it is, but rather recreates it based on your past experiences, beliefs, and biases, effectively functioning as a personal simulation filter. This constant interpretation of reality creates the illusion of a fixed external world, when in truth, our experience is more akin to a personalized rendering based on our inner programming, creating a loop where we are continuously reinforcing the limitations we perceive. This brings us to the concept of consensus reality, the shared agreement we all participate in to maintain the simulation. We all agree that money has value, that time is linear, and that some things are impossible. And by participating in these shared beliefs, we reinforce the very structures that keep us playing this game. This consensus is so powerful that it often overrides our own direct experience and intuition, preventing us from seeing the deeper layers of reality that exist beyond the simulation. It's like a game where everyone agrees on the rules, even when those rules are limiting and arbitrary, creating a sense of stability and control, but at the expense of true freedom. But what if you could start rewriting the code? What if you could dismantle these limitations? The first step is awareness and self-observation. To begin rewriting the code of your simulation, you must start by observing your own internal programming. This is not a passive process. It is about actively creating the space between stimulus and reaction, becoming aware of the subtle patterns that dictate your thoughts, emotions, and behaviors, creating conscious freedom and awareness where previously only unconscious reactions existed. Self-observation is the key to understanding how your internal simulation operates, and is the basis for making a conscious choice to dismantle the patterns that keep you playing the game unconsciously. Mindfulness practices, such as meditation, are extremely useful tools for cultivating this awareness, allowing you to witness your thoughts and emotions without getting caught up in them, creating the necessary space to recognize that you are not your thoughts or your emotions, but rather the observer of them. This distance is crucial for reprogramming your simulation, as it allows you to identify and change the limiting patterns that have been dictating your reality. The moment you are able to watch your own patterns and understand that they are patterns is the moment you begin the exit. The next step is to challenge and dismantle those limiting beliefs that act as the core of the simulation's code. Techniques like identifying your core limiting beliefs and questioning their validity, and then choosing to rewrite them into empowering affirmations are incredibly effective for creating change. For example, if you believe you're not good enough, question the origin of that belief. Where did it come from? Is it based on facts or on interpretations? And what would happen if you replaced that belief with one that empowers you, like, I am capable and worthy, or I am the source of all possibilities? Start noticing how these new ideas manifest in your life. These are not simply mental exercises, but active shifts in your internal program, which will generate a different outcome in your life. Remember, your beliefs act as the instructions for your simulation, so changing them is the first step in creating a different reality. And this is not just about positive thinking, but about true awareness, so you can begin to see where your beliefs originate and question their validity, therefore creating actual change in your inner landscape. This process also includes building awareness of your internal dialogue, recognizing how your thoughts create your feelings, and subsequently, your experiences. You are essentially programming your own simulation from within. Consider how self-sabotaging thoughts create feelings of fear and anxiety, which then lead to actions that reinforce those negative feelings, creating a loop that keeps you trapped in a limited version of reality. To break this loop, start by identifying these self-sabotaging thoughts, challenge their validity, and then replace them with thoughts that are empowering and align with your desired reality. For instance, instead of thinking, I can't do this, try thinking, I'm capable of learning and growing, or I am the creator of my experience, and I can choose a better one. This doesn't have to be a forced positive affirmation. It can also be a neutral statement of fact that validates your potential, such as, I am open to all possibilities. These are all ways to change your internal programming, and thus, your experience of reality. Finally, you must redefine your values and purpose, focusing on living authentically rather than following the pre-programmed script. Ask yourself, what brings you true joy? What are your deepest passions and desires? These are the keys to unlocking a truly authentic experience, and these are the areas that have been mostly shut down in the simulation in favor of keeping you in line and playing someone else's game. Use reflective questions such as, if money was no object, what would I do with my life? Or, what is my authentic expression? To help you identify what genuinely brings you fulfillment, and begin to incorporate these into your daily life, making them your true values. This process is about peeling away the layers of programming and revealing your true self, the one that lies beneath the surface of the simulation, allowing you to live a life that is in alignment with your authentic purpose and vision. But now, let's introduce a twist to all of this. What if the simulation isn't external at all? What if it is a projection of your own inner world? Imagine a hologram where the image isn't a fixed object, but a projection of light created from the information encoded in the holographic plate. This is the twist. Your perceived reality is also a projection, originating from your own consciousness, revealing that you are the true programmer. This shifts the perspective on control and power, showing that the real source of the simulation isn't out there, but within you. Like a hologram, every aspect of your experience is connected to and projected from your consciousness, meaning that your internal beliefs, patterns, and programming directly influence what you perceive as reality, which, as we've been exploring, is just a simulation of what is actually there. This perspective shift changes everything. What you experience as the external world is actually a reflection of your inner world, making it clear that true change happens from the inside out, as you rewrite your inner program, also changing your external experience. This also means that you're not just a player in this simulation, you are also the creator. Your thoughts, feelings, and beliefs are not just passive reactions. They are active forces that shape your reality, making you responsible for everything in your experience. You are not simply playing a game. You are the one creating the game itself. Understanding this perspective heightens the sense of empowerment, but also adds the weight of responsibility, as it reveals that everything in your experience is directly connected to your inner state, and that if you don't like your experience, you need to change that inner state. You are not just a recipient of reality, you are the active creator of it. With this in mind, let's layer on the interconnectedness we've discussed, connecting the holographic observer idea to the concept of the one mind. If your consciousness is creating the simulation, then we are all connected to the same source. Just as all the parts of a hologram are interconnected, everything in the simulation is also interconnected and influences everything else, meaning that your actions have repercussions that might be invisible to the naked eye. Now, let's bring it all together. By acknowledging your role as the programmer, you reclaim your power to change your reality. You are not trapped in a fixed simulation, but rather actively creating your experience through your consciousness. Stepping out of the matrix is not about escaping physical reality, but changing your perspective and choosing to create an experience that is in alignment with your intentions and with your vision. The exit is a shift in consciousness, a process of becoming fully aware of how this simulation works, and making the conscious choice to create a new experience, and that choice is always available to you, as the power has always been within you. By making that choice, you become a conscious creator of your life, rather than a passive player, choosing thoughts, feelings, and actions that are in alignment with your desired reality, and understanding that the external world is always a reflection of your inner state. Focus on your vision, cultivate the emotional state that resonates with it, and see your reality as a direct result of your inner choices, therefore creating the experience you actually want. It is in this active choice that you step out of the unconscious program and become the conscious creator of your experience, but this journey has just begun. So let's bring it all into focus, looking back at the journey we've taken together. We've explored the idea of the simulation as a powerful metaphor, a lens through which we can examine how our perceptions are actively shaped by pre-programmed beliefs, societal constructs, and those limiting narratives that often feel like the very fabric of our reality. We've seen that it's not just about some distant matrix, but that it's happening right here, right now, with every choice we make, every belief we hold, and every thought we entertain. From the educational system, subtly conditioning our minds, to the media narratives shaping our desires, we have unveiled how these layers of the simulation operate to maintain a specific kind of experience, which you may have not chosen, and which, as we now know, you can indeed choose to dismantle. Remember that our reality isn't some fixed, objective truth, but rather a dynamic, subjective construction, a personalized rendering based on our internal programming and belief systems. The observer effect, the power of belief, the holographic nature of reality, all of these ideas are intertwined, all pointing to the same fundamental truth. Your experience is a creation of your own consciousness, and that what you project outward from within becomes the world you then experience. Exiting the simulation, therefore, isn't about some physical escape. It's a metaphorical awakening, a conscious choice to reclaim your power as the active creator of your own experience, shifting your focus from being a mere character in the play to being the author of the script itself, the programmer of your personal simulation. And as the programmer, you hold the keys to dismantling that simulation and rewriting the code of your reality. But what does it mean to actively rewrite your code? It begins with understanding that as you change your individual program, you're also creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond your personal experience, impacting the entire collective. The interconnectedness we've explored isn't just a philosophical idea, it's a practical reality. Your thoughts, your actions, your beliefs, they all contribute to the collective consciousness, creating a kind of shared simulation that is co-created by everyone. This means that each act of self-liberation is also an act of liberation for the world around you. Exiting the simulation, therefore, becomes more than just a personal journey. It becomes a crucial step in the evolution of collective consciousness, which also gives it more weight, more value, and more importance. With this perspective, the implications are clear. We are all responsible for the world we create, and by taking charge of our own inner landscapes, we also influence the outer world in ways that we cannot fully comprehend. But beyond this grand perspective, you will also find that the way you perceive your daily life transforms, with your relationships taking on new depths, and your future unfolding in ways you may never have imagined, all because you've understood how this simulation operates and how to transcend its limitations. And this is not a one-time event, but a path of continuous self-discovery, where personal growth and conscious evolution become intertwined, constantly reshaping your experience of life. So, how do you actually exit the simulation? What is the true way forward, taking everything we've discussed so far into consideration? The answer, as we've seen, is not about escaping from physical reality, but in shifting your consciousness, dismantling your limiting beliefs, and becoming fully aware of your pre-programmed patterns. The true exit is a conscious choice to take responsibility for your experience, recognizing that you are the programmer of your own reality. This means that you now possess all the necessary tools to dismantle your personal simulation and rewrite the inner program, which means you can start right now, in this very moment. Start with self-awareness, observing your thoughts, feelings, and actions, recognizing the patterns that are keeping you locked in an unconscious cycle, and making the active choice to rewrite your beliefs, focusing on intention and the power of choice as your main keys to freedom, and building a new reality from the ground up by going within. This doesn't require some monumental effort, but a series of small, conscious choices that accumulate over time, creating a major transformation. By becoming aware of your inner workings, by challenging your limiting beliefs, and by choosing to live with intention, you are actively dismantling the simulation and stepping into your role as the conscious creator of your own experience, therefore making a direct impact on your world and the world around you. The power to make this change is, and has always been, within you. And yet, what if the journey we've just begun is only the tip of the iceberg? What if the true mysteries of consciousness and the nature of reality extend far beyond the scope of this current discussion? What if there are even deeper layers to explore? Consider the nature of time, its linear structure, and whether it's just another construct of the simulation. Or consider the implications of the interconnectedness of all things through the lens of one mind, and what it means that we are all connected through consciousness. Or explore the implications of quantum entanglement, and whether these subtle connections that link particles could also explain our ability to influence each other at a distance. These are but some of the questions that point to an even larger landscape of possibilities, and each one of them holds the potential to further deepen your understanding and your journey towards true freedom. So you can see that this is not just about personal liberation, but about a profound exploration into the heart of reality itself. And this exploration goes far beyond the personal and moves us into a deeper understanding of the universe itself, where science and spirituality meet. These deeper ideas invite us to ponder the true nature of our existence, urging us to continue down this path with curiosity and wonder. And as you continue this exploration, remember that you are not alone. Connect with the community, share your experiences, your doubts, and your insights. The comments section below is a great place to keep this conversation alive, a place to discuss your ideas, and to learn from other people's experiences, creating a space for growth and connection, and offering a way to see how this information is creating real changes in people's lives. Share how you are dismantling your own simulation, what has worked for you, and what new questions this journey has inspired. By sharing your insights and your doubts, you will not only be solidifying your own understanding, but also inspiring others, further emphasizing the interconnected nature of this entire experience and creating a ripple effect that extends far beyond what we can perceive. This is a collective journey, and by actively participating in it, you not only support your own growth, but also contribute to the evolution of the collective. We are, after all part of the same consciousness. So let us end with this thought. You are free. You are not bound by the limitations of the simulation. You are the programmer, the creator of your own reality. This journey that you've begun by watching this video is a conscious choice to awaken, to step into your power, and to live life on your own terms. Remember the lessons you have uncovered today. You are the observer, you are the programmer, and you are free. The path of self-discovery, authentic living, and conscious creation has just begun. Now go out there and create the reality you truly desire.